Around 4 out of 5 grade 8 pupils and 3 out of 5 grade 9s in the Free State Province schools who uploaded pupils' results on the South African School Administration and Management System failed the assessments. These are results in the first quarter test in March. The Free State is a province that has achieved the best matric rate in South Africa in the past few years. While this is a worry, the Education Department reportedly says many learners' marks aren't there, so this may not be a true reflection. Joining us to share the department's position on this matter is Tsatsi Montso, Free State Education Department Acting Deputy Director General of Curriculum Management. Good evening, Mr. Montso, and thank you very much for your time. So, honestly, this story has taken a life of its own. There's absolutely no platform that is not reporting on it. Yesterday, we actually spoke to an education professor on the platform from UWC. And like many others, he found the failure rate of the grade 8 and 9s, which is at 83.5% and 75.8% respectively, beyond concerning. Just help us make sense of this. What exactly is happening with the grades there?
No, good evening, my lady. Look, we are concerned as a Free State province, but it's proper and profound when the research articles is being done. You must understand that this is a preliminary results. There are not all of them there, but based on what we have been seeing over the years as a province, that your grade 8 and 9 are challenged grades because the curriculum is more demanding there, and most of your learners lack foundational skills of literacy and numeracy. And I want to underscore a fact that, your pass requirements for the senior phase are more stringent than any other pass requirements within the basic education sector. Because that pass that you are seeing, it does not clearly explain the contextual factors in the teaching and learning, and in particular, that we have made in this country the passing of mathematics a compulsory condition. So it distorts the performance of learners in other subjects because they must pass at 50%.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying
Yes.
is that between grade 8 and 9, the learning becomes more rigorous. And now what you're actually saying is something that one of the professors that was here yesterday stated, that he is attributing this to, among others, the poor quality of education in the primary school level. So is that what you're probably saying as well? That they're not fully equipped coming out of primary, so by the time they get to grade 8 and 9, it becomes quite difficult for them.
Yes, look, our schooling system, how by its design, our focus is more on grade 12. But as a province, we have taken steps as well to ensure that the sufficient skills are built in your primary schooling. And again, it goes without saying that in your foundation phase in particular, you've got a class teaching where a teacher must teach all the subject. You will agree with me. Not all of us are experts in understanding mathematics. In particular, the biggest problem here, I'm telling you, is mathematics, that kids must pass mathematics no makanjani. That's the challenge. So the foundation there of mathematics and subjects are classified in 3 broad categories. The first one is the concept rich. That's your maths. When a young child is counting 1, 2, 3, that counting spirals up to become a function. It goes up in grade 12 to become a geometric or arithmetic sequence. So it means laying a proper foundation by an expert in the foundation phase of mathematics, as well as language is important, but maths in particular, because language is classified as a content-rich subject. Content, not concept-rich. The last part of subject are skills-rich subject that you can acquire at any grade, but at any grade. But when it comes to mathematics, laying a proper foundation is essential.
Okay. You're saying, Tsatsi, that the focus has been matric. But for an ordinary person listening to our conversation, they'd say, then matric comes at the very end. The foundation would be equally important, if not more important, because one then wonders that what happens after grade 9? Because somehow between grade 10 and 11, it seems, because you've been getting some very good results for matriculants.
Yes.
What then happens between grade 10 and 11? Are you then bombarding the learners with a lot of knowledge all at once for them to finally get those impressive matric results that we keep seeing? What happens between those 2 years?
Yeah, let us get the concepts right. Your progression and promotion requirements for the senior phase is totally different for the progression requirements for grade 10 to grade 12. When you compare the two bands, your FET band and the senior phase in particular, you are comparing two different bands. Yes, so that's the problem. So it's important that the professors must say that upfront as well.
All right.
That the past requirements for the senior phase are stringent, are tough, plus the curriculum. In your grade 10 to 12, they are slightly lowered a bit, So when you compare the two, you must be clear on the requirements, your promotion and progression requirement.
Then how are you planning to address this nevertheless? In as much as you would say that they are stringent, it's very tough between grade 8 and 9, you have a curriculum and the most important thing is for these children to pass. So somehow you have to get them to that level where they're actually meeting those outcomes.
Of course. Look, in the Free State Province, I am happy to say we pride ourselves with a system that is capable to produce the results. I can tell you that. Even in grade 8 and grade 9, we are worried. We are definitely worried. Since last year, we have started to introduce what we call the baseline assessment test. In mathematics, natural science, EMS, English FAL, physical English FAL.
Mr. Tsatsi, I'm sorry to interject, but it seems to me as though you are placing the blame on the criteria and saying basically that the criteria for grade 8 and 9 is slightly too high. It gets lowered as they progress to grade 10, 11 and 12. But we're saying it is the criteria now, so how do you assist them to make sure that they don't fail? Parents must be absolutely concerned because their children failed.
No, as I'm saying to you, as a province, we have now profiled the class, your grade 8 and grade 9, based on the outcomes of the baseline assessment, as well as our support program. We have introduced, after COVID-19, the visual learning recovery program for grade 8 and grade 9. We have introduced the webinars this year so that we're making sure that our learners are taught the way they are learning. Our kids are techno-savvy. We are making every effort in the province to move into the technology space to make sure that our learners are able to learn through technology. And not only that, we have a quarterly based teacher development program supporting all the classified underperforming school in grade 8 and 9, as well as supporting in terms of curriculum, ATP's mediation every quarter, centralized marking where we look at the items per subject that are challenging to learners, and those get repeated.
All right.
To improve their performance.
All right, Mr. Montso, it's heartening to hear. So meaning you and I will catch up in the second quarter and see that some of your interventions are now working and those learners are passing. Thank you very much for your time this evening. That's Tsatsi Montso from the Free State Education Department.